Ha! Hey everyone, Hassan here. Welcome to the world of Ha. Today, I got a very special review for you. These are the new Marvel Legends figures from Avengers Infinity War. I couldn't even fit them all in one frame, so I kind of had to hold my camera up like this. I'm going to put my camera down for a second, and let's talk about these figures. So I did a little toy hunt vlog showing me trying to hunt down these brand new figures, and I finally have them all. So there are 7 in the series, so let's kind of jump right to them. Let me move these ones down here. Okay, so there's actually 4 from Avengers Infinity War. So as you can see, these are the 4 that are from the new movie. So from left to right, we have the Iron Spider. Then we have Captain America, we have Iron Man, and Proxima Midnight. One of the, I think it's the Black Order, is what they're called, from Thanos. So these are the 4 from Avengers Infinity War. And they are in the Build-A-Figure Thanos line, meaning they all come with pieces of Thanos, so you buy the whole set, you can combine all the pieces and actually create a Thanos figure, which is really cool. The one exception being Iron Man actually does not come with any pieces of Thanos, so buy him if you want him, but if you don't want him, you can pass. If you are trying to get Thanos, you can, you know, ignore them and get the other figures. But the tricky thing that they do is, in order to actually complete Thanos, not only do you have to buy these Avengers Infinity War characters that you want, you have to get the characters that you probably don't care about. Which, at least for me, like, hey, you know, I just don't know these characters. So there's from Marvel Avengers, so I assume, I don't know if this is the TV show, or these are just in general, this is one of the Avengers from one of the comics. I don't know who this is. This is Marvel's Songbird, apparently. And then we also have the Taskmaster. Don't know who that is. The only reference to Taskmaster I know is people in internet forums say that they want Grant Ward from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. They wanted him to be Taskmaster. I don't know if this is the same Taskmaster or somebody different. I have no idea. And then we have Serpent Society, which is odd because I believe this is, his name is actually King Cobra, and Serpent Society is the name of the society that he's from, because when they announced Captain America Civil War, that movie, they initially called it Captain America Serpent Society as a joke, and then we're like, oh no, it's actually Civil War. So I don't know why they named this figure Serpent Society. I don't understand it. These 3 figures, I only got them to get the Thanos Build-A-Figure piece, so otherwise I would not have bought these, but just so you know, they're in the set. So what I want to do is I want to show you the packaging, and then we're going to open these up and take a look. So let's start with the 3 and get them out of the way that I don't care about as much. Songbird right here, looks like it comes with an arm of Thanos right there, and then the back of the box shows you the figure in detail along with all of the other figures in the line and what piece of Thanos that they come with. So as you can see, all of them except for Iron Man come with a piece there. Looks like it says Melissa Gold is the Songbird, so the character's name is Melissa Gold, apparently. And there's that. And then we have Taskmaster, which has got like this skull-looking face. If you took off the hood and threw some flames on it, I guess it could pass as Ghost Rider, because the skull face, I guess. Anyways. Build-A-Figure Thanos line, here he is right here, so Taskmaster. Yeah, I mean, interesting looking figures, I'm not gonna lie. Some of them look kind of neat. I just, you know, would have preferred to save my money and not buy them, but in order to get Thanos, you gotta do it. So he comes with a leg, and then you have Serpent Society, which is really odd looking and, you know, kind of more cartoony in style, but he comes with the arm that has the Infinity Gauntlet. Very, very important piece of Thanos, so you can't miss him. So here he is right here, the leader of the Serpent Society, Klaus Voorhees? I don't even know. Anyways, let's get these guys out of the way, because we want to talk Infinity War, right? Because this is what we're excited about. This is the good stuff. So we have Iron Man in the new suit right here. Got a couple different hands as well, and these little energy blasts. A really cool looking suit. This does not have those little jetpack pieces that pop out of it that we've seen in other toys or promotional art. You can kind of see it here in the back. So this toy does not seem to have those, which would have been actually really cool, but maybe they'll release another version later on, who knows. But here he is right here, so pretty cool looking. I'm excited about it. I like Iron Man, so I was going to get this figure regardless. And then of course we have Captain America, the new bearded look for Captain America. Very interesting style right there. Alternate hands as well. He's got the head of Thanos. Look at how menacing and interesting that looks. And he's got the new shield, the Wakandan shield, which looks really, really cool. So I'm excited about that. There he is right there. Look at him. Captain America. Boom. Really, really cool. Then we have Iron Spider. I absolutely love Spider-Man. My favorite comic book superhero. And so this is really cool. The Iron Spider suit actually looks beautiful as well from what we've seen in the trailers. And this figure looks really cool. It comes with the leg of Thanos. So yeah, interesting that they're calling him Iron Spider. They're really going with the name from the comics since he has the Iron Spider suit. So they're really using that name in a lot of promotional material. And last but not least, one of the members of the Black Order, we have Proxima Midnight with the main body of Thanos. So a crucial figure to create Thanos here with this really cool looking weapon as well. Really interesting figure. I'm excited to see these characters in the movie and see, you know, what they're like. But really, really great designs for these as well. Proxima Midnight is a lieutenant of the Black Order. So really, really cool. So anyways, enough talking. I just want to give you that introduction. So without further ado, let's get these things open and take a look. All right, I have all of the figures out of the packaging, and these are actually really cool overall. So a couple things that, you know, I'll talk about with the specific figures, but as a unit, I mean, these actually look really interesting, and they're very diverse too. Even the three in the back that I don't particularly care about, at least when you're looking at this whole set, you're getting a wide variety of types of figures, as you can see. Some, you know, more bright and colorful, some darker, and, you know, some shorter and taller, and a whole range of different styles of figures, which is really cool. So I like that diversity to it. Like I said before, I would not have bought the three in the back if it weren't for the fact that they had Thanos pieces, but some of them are actually not bad at all. The figures are actually kind of interesting, so so I'm not super disappointed either. They're actually kind of cool. So let's take a look at the figures. Let's start with the three in the back and get them out of the way, and then we'll focus on obviously the main figures after that. So let me move these all kind of to the side here. I'll move them all to the back, and let's start with Songbird right here, which looks really cool, especially as a display like this. This whole piece is huge, and it just looks really neat. Again, I haven't seen what Songbird is from, but it looks almost like these wings can just like appear or something. They almost look like they're formed out of some kind of energy or something, which is really interesting looking. So the way that this works, this piece actually does come off. So it's like a separate little piece here. I don't know if Songbird is seen in the show without the wings, and then sometimes they appear or what. But in case you're wondering, you know, there she is without the wings right there. So let's take a quick look at the detail of the figure. I couldn't tell you how accurate or not the figure looks to, you know, what they are in the show or whatever, but overall the detail is still pretty nice. Nice shiny gold paint that they used in some of these parts here as well. Yeah, I mean, the design is actually really cool. I kind of want to learn more about Songbird because I think the design is actually really interesting looking. My one gripe is this belt. I don't know why they made it like this loose kind of belt. There's really no point to it because if they would have just made the belt just attached onto the body, that wouldn't hinder any articulation or anything at all. So it's really odd as to why they chose to do that because it just kind of flops around like that, which is weird. Now, if you were to leave it on display, obviously it's going to stay in place and that won't really matter. But otherwise, it is just really odd the way they, you know, decided to do that. So I don't know. Articulation-wise, the head does rotate all the way around, although as you can see, it can get in the way a little bit there too, so you just have to be careful with the long hair right there. But if anything does happen, you can just pop it on or off in the way that you want. So because it is on a ball joint, you do have a lot of range of freedom there. This piece does move around, as you saw, as well. So you do have some flexibility there. So the arms can technically rotate all the way around, but of course the shoulder pieces do hinder that movement. They move out a little bit, and then they do bend at the elbow. This whole piece does rotate as well, this whole arm cuff right there, and then the hand piece does rotate as well. Both hands are flat like that, so she can't grip anything. But in the types of poses that you could get, I mean, you got some nice like karate chop poses and stuff, so you do have a lot of flexibility there with it, and I think it actually looks really cool for different style poses that you would do, especially if apparently the packaging says that she uses like Sonic supersonic powers or something, so like her arms are back and she might be shooting out supersonic waves, or I don't know, I'm just coming up with something, but looks pretty cool. The legs do have a good amount of range of motion there as well, and they do rotate all the way around, and double joint at the knee, and then the feet do move forward and back, and you know, on that little swivel. So pretty standard joints there for these Marvel Legends figures. The main difference is some figures have double joints on the elbows, and she only has a single joint. But that's, you know, that happens with some of the figures. So it's still pretty sweet. Definitely a nice range of articulation. And then you have this giant piece right here that just kind of pegs into the back. It doesn't stay in super well, you know, if you're kind of moving it around and stuff a lot. So it's really more for display purposes, that sort of thing, but it kind of also acts as an anchor in the back here to hold her into place. So if you just kind of lean her back a little bit, so you don't have to worry as much about balancing her, because then the back piece will sort of hold her up against the floor there. So that's pretty nice. So anyways, that is Songbird. Surprisingly pretty good figure overall, even though I wouldn't have necessarily thought to buy this figure before. So pretty cool. So let's go on to, let's do Serpent Society next right here. Now this figure is really interesting. The design, obviously, so this is supposedly King Cobra is the actual name, and obviously you can see that. You have the Cobra themed image right there on the chest. This whole hooded piece is like a little Cobra as well, and then this whole cape is also themed like that. So completely overall, you can see that in the design. So very interesting design, a little kind of cartoony looking, you know, so it's not something that you would see in like the Marvel movies, but for a toy or something, it definitely works. And I like the metallic paint that they use. The green is really slick looking, and the purple as well looks really nice. It's got a nice smooth finish to it on the back here, whereas here it's kind of got that rough feel because of the scales that they have here. That textured feel to it is actually really cool. So I kind of like the feel of the figure itself. Now this whole cape piece does actually come off as well. So there's a hole right there and a peg that will attach on. So as you can see, it'll just slide right in, and boom, insert in, and there you go. Articulation wise, so the head does actually rotate all the way around. So you do have full range of motion there. Pretty much standard articulation for this figure as well. I'm going to take off the cape just so you can really see the range of it. It rotates all the way around. It's got like that ratchety joint as well, so it clicks into place. This whole piece rotates around as well. You have double joint right here, oops, at the elbows. This whole piece does rotate as well. And then you also have the hand that will rotate. So wide range of articulation there. This whole top piece does move, you know, up and down like that. The belt piece slides around a little bit, can actually rotate all the way around. The legs do have a good amount of range there, in and out about that much. You know, this does rotate, double joint there. This whole piece rotates, and then the foot has a good amount of range as well. So lots of articulation there. A little bit of hindrance with the articulation when it comes to attaching on the cape, of course, but still pretty good. Just sort of pegs in the back. There we go. Yeah, and so the hands are sort of permanently stuck in this like I don't know why I described it as an erg, like that's the word I use to describe the hands. Not like this claw, you know, kind of style, but just erg. That's what I imagine him sounding like. Erg. I don't know. It's late. I'm tired. But there you go. So there is King Cobra, or Serpent Society, whatever you want to call him. So let's keep moving on, because this is getting to be quite long of a video. Taskmaster right here comes with a couple different accessories. You have this shield right here, which came like this, and essentially this piece can sort of pop out and be held there as well. So you do have that, and essentially this will just, you know, clip on somewhere here, I guess, wherever you want it to kind of clip on. Does have the sword as well, and he also has this blaster that fits into the holster. So if you want him to hold this blaster as well, you do have that option. Articulation wise is going to be very similar to the other figures. This cape as well does kind of peg into the back. The difference being this cape is actually closed around the edges right here, so you can't take it off. So do keep that in mind. So, you know, pretty good range of motion there. I'm really just going to focus on what's different, which with this figure, there is no different articulation compared to King Cobra. I mean, it basically is the same, you know, in terms of all the different types of things that you can do. The one exception being this piece right here does not seem to actually rotate. This piece at the bottom does, but this piece does not, or it did on the King Cobra Serpent Society figure. So, you know, pretty good articulation there. Not the biggest fan of this figure, and I feel like the things with the capes is they don't seem to stay in super well either. So it's a little annoying, but you know, interesting looking design for sure. So I don't really know what he's from specifically. Like if Taskmaster appears in other, you know, Marvel series, or if he has his own or what, that I don't really know. But there you go. There's Taskmaster. So let's get to the main event. 10 minutes into, well actually more than 10 minutes into the video, finally getting to the figures that you all want to see. Let's start with Proxima Midnight right here, because Proxima Midnight is a new character compared to the rest from Avengers Infinity War. And I actually really like this figure. First of all, the main thing is this figure is big. So here's Captain America, and you can see the height difference there. So that'll be really interesting to see in the movie as well, just that size difference. But it makes the figure look more menacing just from the size of it. And I think it looks really cool. And it's got some great detail you can see all over like the legs and stuff, kind of like this little pattern design all over the entire body as well. And going all the way to the back. Just really, really interesting design. And then these cool like gold armor pieces that attach onto the sides. It almost kind of reminds me, the gold armor pieces, of the Chitauri from the first Avengers movie. I don't know if that's intentional or not, but that's kind of the vibe that I get there. But really, really interesting style. And then there's the weapon, of course, which looks really cool. Interesting design to it, kind of the three-pronged piece right there. And it's a pretty lengthy weapon, so she can definitely kind of stand tall with her staff there. Yeah, I mean, really, really great figure. There's the face as well that you can see. Some nice detail there as well. Yeah, overall it just looks really, really nice. So I actually really like this figure. I think it looks really cool. Articulation wise, you do have the head that rotates all the way around. Moves up and down a little bit as well. The arms, now this one does have a shoulder pad that restricts the movement a little bit, but otherwise the arms can rotate all the way around, move up and down about that much. This piece here does rotate as well. She actually does have a double joint at the elbow as well. And this piece does not rotate, but the hand, you know, of course, does rotate there. So good amount of articulation. One arm is closed kind of to grasp the staff, and one arm is open like that. The legs do have a good amount of range as well, and they can move apart a decent amount. This piece does rotate, double joint at the knee, and then the foot does rotate up and down as well. It's really tight at first because I haven't done it much, so I don't want to mess with it too much. But the feet is pretty standard. They move up and down, so nothing too crazy with the figure. But you know, you can definitely get some good poses with the figure right here. Maybe you want to capture her like throwing the staff or something, so you could probably do that as well with the range of motion that the figure has. So really cool looking figure. I actually really like it, and I hope that they end up releasing figures of all of the Black Order members. I know at least one or two other ones are coming in the second wave, so that'll be cool, but I'm not sure if all of them have been announced or not. But yeah, really, really neat, and I like the figure. Definitely recommend it. So moving on to, let's do Captain America next right here. So here is Captain America. As you can see, the face could be better. I mean, the beard part, I don't know. I mean, I like that he has a beard in the movie. I'm just saying in terms of does he look like Chris Evans? kind of, you know, like maybe like the top part right there when you throw in the beard, I feel like this is a little more bushy of a beard than he actually has in the movie, a little bit, but you know, it's close enough, I guess. So he does have this shield right here, and so he just kind of grips on just like that. So here is the shield that he is given, which looks pretty cool. So here's the figure. Now, I do want to mention that these two hands are like open, grabby hands, but he does come with two additional hands here, which are these like fists. So in case you wanted him to have the fist hands, you can pose him with those as well. But one thing that I don't like about the figure is look at the hand. That's not a lighting trick that, you know, that's, you know, looking odd here. The paint color is different. Like his skin color right here is different than the hand color. It's a different shade. It looks so weird. It looks so odd to me. They should have just had his sleeve going up all the way, or what? So if he's holding the shield, you don't notice it. So that's why I'm pretty much always gonna have him holding the shield, because otherwise that just looks weird. So keep that in mind. You know, if you want to display him a certain way, I would definitely have him hold it with this arm, because otherwise, you know, this arm doesn't look bad because you can't, you know, really see the difference. So yeah, that's really odd. Otherwise, you know, here's the style of the figure right here. I actually do have the Captain America from the first Avengers movie, I think it is. So for comparison's sake, here he is. Obviously, he's got his more classic shield right there. And it's a very, very similar uniform, though obviously not as bright. So Captain America's kind of gone more into hiding and more stealth mode, that sort of thing. So definitely a different look to it, different style, but very, very similar in design. So it's kind of cool to have the two different figures and sort of see the evolution of the suit. He went from being this kind of symbol to being on the run like this, which is very, very interesting story-wise, but makes for an interesting figure as well. So articulation-wise, the head does rotate all the way around and, you know, moves up and down a little bit. This whole piece does move as well. The arms rotate. They move up a decent amount. This whole piece here rotates. Double joint at the elbow. And then the hand, of course, rotates as well. So good amount of articulation there with the legs. Pretty standard. Mine has some tight joints, so it's a little difficult to show some of the range of motion, but there you go. Then this whole piece does rotate around as well. Double joint at the knee. The whole boot piece does rotate. And then the feet as well do move up and down, and pretty standard range of motion there. So, you know, decent amount of range, interesting style of the figure. So, yeah, there he is right there. There is Captain America. Looks pretty cool. So, on to, let's do Iron Man next right here. So, here he is, Iron Man, the new suit. Or at least partially, because we don't have a version that has the cannons and the thrusters kind of popping out the back, which would have been really cool. But here he is right there. Let's actually take this piece off. And so first things first, he does come with a different set of hands. So he has a fist right here, and then an open hand with a space to put in these little effect pieces. And he actually comes with the opposite versions as well. So if you want both fists or both hands to have the open pieces with the peg, then you can do that as well for different posing options. So that is certainly nice. So you do get two of the little effect pieces if you so desire. Yeah, I mean, I think the figure looks pretty cool. I do like the design of it. This little piece right here, the little underlying silver underneath the red there, looks really nice. Pretty cool design overall. I do like kind of the evolution of the Iron Man suits. They definitely have gone through many different iterations, as we've seen, but this one especially looks pretty cool. Looks pretty slick looking. So yeah, I'm excited to see how this translates to the movie. So the head, of course, rotates all the way around, moves up and down a little bit. The arms rotate and move up and down. This whole piece does move. Double joint at the elbow there. And then the hand piece, of course, you know, can move around. The chest piece does move up and down and actually all the way around. So good range of motion there. And then the legs do move around a decent amount. You know, this whole piece rotates. Double joint at the knee as well. I'm like pinching my finger there. And then the foot, of course, you know, moves up and down. So same standard range of motion for a lot of the figures. Looks pretty cool. Definitely you can come up with some great poses with these figures. I kind of like the one where he's sort of like looking up like he's ready to fly off into space, and so he's got the thrusters going, you know, right here. Definitely looks pretty cool. So yeah, if you want to have both hands doing that, you can do that as well, which is really neat. So there is Iron Man. And then of course Iron Man gives a new suit to Spider-Man to make Iron Spider. So here he is right there. Another thing I want to point out with him is the size difference. So there he is right there. He is shorter, which I appreciate because obviously, right, Tom Holland, Peter Parker, like he is shorter. And so especially you put him next to Proxima Midnight. Oh, that's pretty cool to see that size difference there. So I really appreciate that about the Marvel Legends figures, is they really take size into account. That's really important, and that's awesome. So here's the figure, and I think it looks really cool. It's got kind of this darker look to it, but it's still very sleek looking and got this metallic-y finish to it. Like it does have a little bit of a shine as well, even though it is that darker look. It looks really sleek looking, which is kind of how it is in the movie too, so it's impressive how they were able to pull that off for this figure. Really great design. I know not everybody's necessarily a fan of this design. They prefer the more classic look. I love the classic look too, don't get me wrong, but I think this also looks pretty awesome. And so yeah, really nice. The little hints of the gold all throughout. I think that just looks beautiful, especially when the light kind of reflects off of it here. I think the texture of it especially makes it pop in a way. I think that's really a big part of it. So I think they did a great job with the figure. It looks really nice. Yeah, really cool looking. So it doesn't have any different hands. He just has the two hands this way. Keep an eye on, you know, your Spider-Man figures, because the one that I saw at my first GameStop I went to, this figure was like totally twisted. This one's a little bent, but it's better than the other one was. So it seems like that seems to be a common issue with the Spider-Man figure. So keep an eye out for that when you're buying the figure. Articulation wise, the head does rotate. The arms do rotate all the way around as well. And he even has this neat little movement where it kind of moves forward and back a little bit, which is kind of cool. This whole piece does also rotate. Double joint at the elbow as well. And the hand does rotate and move like in and out a little bit as well. This whole chest piece does move forward and back. The whole body does rotate. The legs do have a good amount of range here, so you can do a lot of stuff with it. Rotate around, double joint here, and the feet move up and down, pretty standard there. So pretty cool poses that you can kind of do with it, you know, as you can see. Yeah, looks really nice for sure. So there you have it, guys. Now, that's not all, right? Because so we have these figures. We have Iron Spider, we have Iron Man, we have Captain America in here. We have Proxima Midnight, we have Taskmaster, Serpent Society, and Songbird, right? So we have all 7 of those figures, 6 of which, so not counting Iron Man, come with pieces of Thanos. So it's actually really interesting because I don't collect the Marvel Legends figures. I might start because they're really cool. But the one other set that I got in the past was from the first Avengers movie. And the first Avengers movie, for comparison, I don't have all the figures readily right here, but I have Captain America. We had Iron Man, like that looks really cool. I love that suit. And we had the Hulk. I mean, look at how massive the Hulk was. There are other figures as well, but these came with Build-A-Figure Thanos pieces also, but they were this Thanos, like the comic book Thanos right here. And so now we have Build-A-Figure Thanos again, but movie Thanos from Avengers Infinity War. So it's kind of poetic that the first Avengers figures came with this version of Thanos, and now these Avengers figures come with the movie Thanos. So I'll do a little comparison once he's fully assembled, but it'll be really cool to see, you know, the size difference and just that sort of style. I think this one's sold at Walmart now, or maybe, I don't know if it's the exact same one, but something similar. It's like a Walmart exclusive by itself. So if you want like this comic book version of Thanos, then you have that option as well. So I have all the pieces of Thanos right here. And so what we're going to do, I'm going to take the main body of Thanos right here. And this is what comes with Proxima Midnight. So Proxima Midnight comes with the main body of Thanos. So let's move these guys out of the way. So that's the main body. Then we have the two legs of Thanos right here. And so the right leg comes from Taskmaster. And so I believe that would be this. Yes, this is the right leg, and it actually has an R right there. I don't know if you'll be able to see it from the light, but there's a little R right there. So this is the right leg that came with Taskmaster, okay? And then the left leg right here actually comes from Iron Spider. So Iron Spider has the left leg of Thanos. So let's start assembling these. So sometimes this actually takes a bit of force. So I'm going to try and do it with a giant camera in front of my face. See if I can get it to connect in here. There we go. All right. So we have that. Oh man, I'm excited to see this come together. I really like Thanos' design from the movie. Ooh, okay. All right. Really cool. So then, of course, we have the arms right here. So we have the right arm of Thanos right here. And so the right arm of Thanos actually comes from Songbird. So Songbird comes with the right arm of Thanos. So let's attach that into here. Is that it? Oh, that was actually pretty easy. So, okay, there we go. There's the right arm of Thanos. And then the left arm of Thanos, the one that has the Infinity Gauntlet, this one, the left arm, comes with Serpent Society. King Cobra, the figure that most people wouldn't buy. You gotta get him because he's got the Infinity Gauntlet. So here we go. And then of course we have Captain America himself coming with the head of Thanos. So Captain America himself, the head of Thanos. Here we go. Attaching the head. Boom. Then there we have Thanos. Oh man, look at that. That looks awesome. I really like that. Let me just bring in the other version of Thanos here, just real quick comparison. So this one's taller for sure. Really, really interesting look. Look at that. Oh man, okay. Let's take an up-close look. Actually, let me quickly bring in the Hulk here. I just want to get a size comparison. This is from the first Avengers movie. So the Hulk is a little bit taller, teeny bit, but still pretty cool. So, all right. Wow, look at Thanos, man. He's not in his, like, full throne, you know, clothes or anything. This is what we've seen in the movie, that he appears out of that portal, and he's got this suit. Like, he's ready to fight. This looks slick. This has got some nice shine to it. It's got some heft to it. This figure just looks great. That Infinity Gauntlet, oh my gosh. I really like this figure. This is worth it. This is so worth collecting all the figures together. This is absolutely worth every bit of it. Let's take an up-close look at some of these here. Look at that. That just looks great. The way they have like the textures and the feel to it, you know, like just so cool. Even right here, you got this nice textured feel to the main chest piece right here. Really, really slick looking. Look at that. Look at his face. Oh man, that just looks awesome. He looks menacing. Like they captured the menacing look of Thanos so perfectly with this. Like this just looks like he looks tough. I don't know how they're gonna beat him, man. This is tough. And then of course, the incredible Infinity Gauntlet. It is not removable. That would have been cool to have a tiny little one for display. It does actually have all of the Infinity Stones right there, as you can see. We got the Soul Stone. What do we got? I think that's is that the Mind Stone? I can't remember which is which anymore, to be completely honest with you. Power. Is that Time? Yeah, that's Time. Oh, actually, I might remember all of them. Gosh, what are these two? Red. I know this is the ether, but I forget what it's called, which stone it is. Reality stone. Orange. I don't know. I can't remember. All right, anyways, whatever. I don't want to spend too much time on that. This video is already super long, but looks really, really cool. Yeah, this just looks awesome. So for comparison's sake, right, we have him right here. Let's bring in Iron Man to stand right next to him. Look at that. So, of course, he is much taller. You bring in the Iron Spider especially. Oh my gosh. Peter Parker, man, you better be careful. I'm worried for you against Thanos. Oh man. And Proxima Midnight is a little shorter, a little bit, but still together, like, they fit perfectly. So that'll be great to have the whole Black Order like together like that. You know, you can reenact the scenes, right? Like Iron Man right here, and you got Thanos being like, bring it on, man. Actually, he didn't even use this arm to punch him. He used, I think it was just the right arm. Bam, punch in the face. Look at that, like that. You can recreate this now, which is super, super cool. So actually, articulation-wise, let me show you that. So the head does rotate all the way around and moves up and down as well. The arms rotate. This whole piece right here rotates. Single joint in the elbow there. And then, of course, you do have the hand, which actually does move as well. So, and moves in and out a little bit like that. So you can kind of curve it, which is pretty cool. So you do have a little bit of range of motion there. This piece moves up and down as well. So pretty standard there. The legs do move forward and to the side a good amount, actually, more so than some of the other figures. This piece does rotate as well. And double jointed knees as well. So there's that. And the foot does move up and down and to the side as well. So good amount of posability here for a giant figure like this, to build a figure like that. Like, that's pretty awesome. Like, you can see him ready to fight and stuff. Like, that just looks really, really cool. So totally worth it, in my opinion, to collect the figures and build Thanos. I think he looks great. This whole complete set is pretty amazing. So I would definitely recommend trying to collect this. If you're a fan of the Marvel Cinematic Universe and you like these designs, I think these Marvel figures do a really, really nice job overall of capturing, you know, what the essence of the characters from the MCU really is. So definitely worth collecting them for Thanos, because this just looks epic. So super excited about that. So hopefully you guys enjoy this review. I don't typically do Marvel Legends, but for every now and then, like, this Avengers Infinity War movie is so epic, and I'm so excited about it. I wanted to do this review. So let me know if you want me to do a review of Wave 2. If you like this review, I will do that as well. So let me know in the comment section below. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you later. Hope you guys enjoy this review of the new Marvel Legends Avengers Infinity War figures. I wanted to put up the ones from Infinity War. I left out the other three just for display purposes. I mean, this is already looking really epic. I mean, just imagine, you know, you have these people on the side of the heroes, and then you have these guys, and Thanos has got Infinity Gauntlet, like, ready to go. Like, this just looks epic, and I can't wait to expand this with more figures as they release as well. So hopefully you enjoyed that. Completely unrelated, but I did also, when I was at the mall the other day, pick up this little Avengers Infinity War bobblehead, and I got Thanos, which looks adorable. Look at him. He's got his Infinity Gauntlet and everything too. So I thought it was really awesome. So I just wanted to kind of show that as well. Are you guys excited about Infinity War? I cannot wait. It's going to be absolutely incredible. Super excited. Let me know in the comment section below what you think as well. And make sure to hit subscribe and give the video a thumbs up and share it if you enjoyed it. I would really appreciate that. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you later.